Just got the Trek Verve back from the Trek store in Williamsburg, Virginia. I want to go over a little bit about spring riding and things you should check before you head out for the season. I've been trying to ride some this winter. I've not done a lot because it's been really cold and a lot of snow and ice, so I'm feeling the need to get out there. But it's 61 degrees. It's February the 28th here in Virginia. 61 degrees today, so I thought I'd come out and make this video. I'll show you all a little bit about what they did to the bike. It was ridden about 1,000 miles this year, a little over 1,000 miles this year. And the service they had to perform, it was really the first initial service they had to perform on the bike. So I'll go over it with you and what I did and some of the things I plan to do to the bike. The first thing they performed on the bike for me this year was the chain was worn out because of excessive wear, I guess. That's my fault. I thought I had lubed it enough, but maybe not. I did ride it in some harsh conditions. So they put a new chain on. That was worn out. The cassette, thankfully, was not worn out. So I can get probably a couple of more chain replacements out of that. I had talked at one point about replacing the front chain ring on the outside. There's two of them. There's a 30-tooth inside chain ring, which I'm pointing at now, which is what I use most of the time. And then on the inside, the outside rather, there's a 40-tooth, I believe, or 42-tooth chain ring on the outside. I thought about having them change that to a 36 or 38 tooth for the outside, but I would have to replace the crank to do that. And what they recommended was, since this one's here if I need it, which I don't very often, to just keep it on there until I wear the crank, wear the chain rings out. Then we'll replace the crank. Set about $65 to do that, which I didn't think was too bad. They did adjust the front derailleur and the rear derailleur for me. They also adjusted the brakes. Before, I could pull them about back to here where my thumb is. Now, not so much. That's one of the things they'll do on a the first year adjustment for you, is check all of this. And now I can't pull them back. What I had them add for me while it was in the shop was a very basic computer. It shows your miles per hour, the time, and then it also has trip meters for your trip and an overall mileage meter, which is simply all I need. I do bike in a lot of places where cell signal is not that great, because I use the track app for all of that. And sometimes there's not places to charge my phone, and I don't want to wear my batteries down that I carry to keep my camera batteries charged, or my charger to keep my camera batteries charged. Other things you want to check on your bike before you take off for the season, you want to make sure if you have a rack that all of your screws are tight everywhere, so that doesn't give you any problems. I put Loctite on mine, the blue Loctite. That keeps it situated really well. This rack is designed to hold 70 pounds. I never put that much on it. I'll go over a little bit of bike maintenance that you should do before you start out, and this is an ongoing thing throughout the riding season to keep your bike in good working order. One of the things I do is I take a simple toothbrush. Now this is a new chain, so it's not dirty and gritty, but I'll wipe it down like this, wipe it over the top, and advance it backwards as I do that. But I'm always pulling forward on the chain because that's where your tension is. And then I'll clean it top and bottom to make sure it stays clean. This is something, again, that you should do throughout the season. After I'm done with that, I take a rag, pull it against the tension, and roll it around and wipe the excess grime off. Then I use a lube. This is a synthetic lube. It's called Rock and Roll Lubrication, the king of lubes, absolute dry hardcore road. Now there's a lot of lubes you can use. This one is a synthetic, and you have to shake it up really good before you use it because the particulates will settle in the bottom of the little can here. And then you just go and put the lube on each roller of the chain. Again, advance it around each one. Now you want to be careful not to get the lube in any way, shape, or form on your braking system. You particularly do not want to get it into your brake pads, which sit in here, because if you do, they're not going to want to stop, and it's hard to wipe it off, and then sometimes you just have to replace the brake pads, or they take a torch and burn the impurities off of the brake pads. You also want to check and make sure your kickstand nuts, if you have one, are tight. Also make sure your quick releases are tight. Make sure you have your seat set where you want it. That should be done initially. When you start riding at the beginning of the season, you're going to have aches and pains because you've been, setting all winter long. At least I have. Haven't been out riding much. So you're going to have some aches and pains. That's to be expected. You just have to work through that. Easier said than done sometimes. You also want to make sure that your cables are well lubed. There are lubes that you can get for that. Your cables here and here. Make sure you do not get the lube on the brakes, like I just previously said. Also with the fronts. Up at top, you can take these out of their housings if you know how to do it. At home, just drop some lube in there. There are lubes made for cables. I didn't bring mine out, but I get the bike shop to do it for me, simply because if they mess it up, they can fix it up, and I don't have that ability here at the house. The only other thing I'm going to do this year, I think, is I'm going to change this handlebar bag out. I like it, but I'm thinking that I may very well put a front rack on the bike, or maybe some type of a basket system, and that's going to be primarily to hold my tent and my sleeping gear. And then of course the panniers will go on the rear rack, and what I'm aiming to do is simply distribute the weight a little bit better than what it has been in the past. You also want to check your batteries in your headlights. Make sure that they're charged up or replaced if need be. And you want to do the same for your rear light. It's not difficult. Make sure you keep spare batteries. Always check them, make sure they're working, because that's paramount to your safety. I always recommend putting a mirror on your bike, and you can situate that however you like for yourself. But I'm tired of winter. I'm ready to get out there and ride. I've got several rail trails lined up that I want to ride this year. I'm already planning to head out in March as soon as it gets warm enough. That's my goal anyway. I'm hoping I'll be able to do it. I don't know why I won't, but I'm going to get out and ride and review these places and bring you all along as I do it. If you're interested, I would love to take you along, and I'd love to see you get out there and ride. Even if you have to buy an e-bike. Buy an e-bike and get out there and enjoy nature. Ride these trails. The more people that ride these trails, the advocacy gets stronger for building these trails. We've got a new one coming in Virginia. It's called the Shenandoah Valley Rail Trail. I can't wait for that to happen. That's going to be a beautiful trail to ride over in the mountains once they get it squared away. And but get out there and ride. Make sure your tires on your bike are in good shape. I've had them check mine while they were down there. These are only a year old, and they're in good shape, gravel tires. But I look forward to seeing everybody out on the trail, and my lab says he would like to go along, but I don't think he could keep up even as slow as I ride. But hopefully I'll see you all out on the trail this year, and if you have any questions or I can be of any assistance as far as riding with disabilities, how I go about doing it, the precautions you take, anything question-wise you might have or you want to know or that I can find out for you, let me know. I'll do what I can to help. God bless, and hope everybody has a very happy and pleasant spring.